If it's going to be Bruce Lee, it's going to be Enter the Dragon. This movie actually came out a month before I was born, which is pretty awesome. And I'm excited to actually see this on the big screen in a newly restored presentation. But even more excited than I am, I want to introduce you to someone who loves Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee plays a huge part in his life. And I want to bring down the Almighty Chillski. Come on down. Woo! Chillski.
First things first, thanks to everybody that came over here to support this wonderful event, because I'm a little bit nervous right now, but I'm very, very excited because this man has meant the world to me. It has meant the world to a lot of kids growing up in the 70s and the 80s that didn't have no superhero to identify with. He was basically our Batman, our Superman, our Spider-Man, our Wolverine, all packaged into one dynamic force of nature. And
except he was real.
except he was real. Except he was real and he was whipping real booty. Thank you so much, brother, for honoring me with this incredible experience. When I came to the United States in 1980 off of the Maria boat lift, I was 8 years old. In Cuba, we didn't have much to watch. You were lucky if you had a TV, if you had a neighbor that had a TV. And those of us that were lucky to have that neighbor, we were mainly into samurai movies. We used to watch the movies from Toshiro Mifune, we were into Satoichi, and stuff like that. When my family and I got here to the United States, after maybe 2 or 3 months of living out here, we moved in with my aunts, and one day my cousin was watching a movie and I hear all this noises and stuff. All this crazy stuff, and I'm like, this guy's watching. And all of a sudden, I see this little Chinese dude just beating the living hell out of everybody. And I don't know, I hope that I don't sound like I'm a violent individual, but I've been into boxing basically since I was a very little kid. My father used to be a boxer, I was into boxing. So the fighting arts has been something that has been in me for many years since I was a kid. And when I saw this dude doing this stuff, I was like, holy crap, you know, I freaked out. The movie was The Big Boss, also known as Fist of Fury in the United States. And that movie pretty much made me a Bruce Lee fanatic before I even knew who the hell Bruce Lee was. Then soon after that, I started watching more movies. Everybody here is a Miami native? Those of you guys that are in your 40s like we are, I'm pretty sure that you remember Samurai Theater in Channel 33, Channel 6, WPIX used to also have the Kung Fu Week. Sometimes they used to show Planet of the Apes, and then they would show a Kung Fu Week with a lot of fake Bruce Lee movies, a lot of Bruce Lee, Dragon Lee, and so on and so forth. But Bruce Lee actually made me even a bigger fan of Bruce Lee. Because when I saw Bruce Lee, the Man, the Myth, it's when I started seeing that this guy wasn't just an actor in a movie. This guy was a real person. So it got me interested in, I started collecting anything that I saw in, whether it was in Epic Drugs, whether it was in a martial arts store, wherever I saw a Bruce Lee magazine, I was collecting whatever it was. I was actually doing some criminal mischief and going into Eckers and, you know, going into the pages of Inside Kung Fu and forget Chuck Norris, forget everybody else. I would rip out the pages of Bruce Lee and put it in my pocket and haul ass. Until I got caught in the Zaire's and that was the end. But
now was this the Zaire's in North Miami by 163rd?
No, this was the Zaire's on 37th Avenue Northwest, 3rd Street. Soon after that, about in 1981, I saw what is the measuring stick and the epitome of a martial arts movie. Enter the Dragon. Bar none, the best of its time, and to me, in my humble opinion, but I'm biased, the best one ever. There will never be anything like Enter the Dragon. In the past, it has gotten its detractors. People want to nitpick certain little things about the movie. But you got to think about how this movie came to be. It was the first of its kind. It was the first collaboration between the East and the West, Hong Kong and the United States. It also kind of happened by accident because the same guys, the same dudes that when Bruce was trying to make it out here in the United States, kind of like shoot him away and said that he would never make it because of his heritage or because he was quote unquote Chinese, are the same dudes that actually went to look for him in Hong Kong when they heard that this incredible martial artist with only 2 years of being in Hong Kong, because Bruce had to return to Hong Kong to actually make it. Only 2 years of being there and 3 pictures under him. He had basically set the East on fire. He had basically broken every record that there was, and he was being looked at basically as a Chinese god per se. So you have producers Fred Weintraub and Paul Eller. They reached out to Warner Brothers. They talked to Warner Brothers. They was like, guys, this is something that's happening and we need to get with the program or else somebody else is going to beat us. And Warner Brothers finally agreed and everything else is history. And Bruce, I can't remember right now for a fact that if Bruce was friends with Fred Weintraub, but Fred Weintraub was a friend, a very good friend of Bruce's student, Sterling Silliphant. And Sterling Silliphant is pretty much the guy that got Bruce Lee his first part in the Green Hornet. He's the one that reached out and, after seeing Bruce do some demonstrations in the Karate Internationals, he was flabbergasted, became Bruce's, one of Bruce's many superstar students, and told the world of him. And because of Sterling Silliphant, Bruce got parts in not only, the Green Hornet, but also in Long Street, which is, if anybody knows anything about Bruce Lee, this is where he also made his famous, quote about flow like water. You know what I mean? Sterling Silliphant actually wrote that episode for a program called Long Street. Everybody, I'm a little bit nervous and I tend to over talk, but yes, Bruce is my best friend. He's my father. And who's into hip hop here? Okay. I'm not gonna judge because I myself, I'm about to be 48, so I don't got no shame about my age. Who in here? I'm not gonna judge you guys. Who's in your mid to late 40s? Awesome. Any of you guys was a B-boy or B-girl at that time? Awesome. All right, so, and check this out.
I already know what you're gonna say.
Bruce, to me, is the father of B-boy and hip-hop attitude. Okay? Besides everything else that Bruce Lee has inspired, which is countless of stuff, mixed martial arts, you name it, nutrition, everything. Us B-boys and B-girls of the 70s and the 80s, our style, our attitude, our monkey faces, our stances, our way of attack comes directly from Bruce Lee and Kung Fu movies, martial art movies. And if it wasn't because of him, we wouldn't have known about other movies. We wouldn't have known who the heck was Jackie Chan. We wouldn't have known who Jet Li was. We wouldn't have known who any of these guys was. He is the father of everything.
A lot of people might not realize this, but Jackie Chan started out in the background as an extra on a Bruce Lee film.
Actually, 2 Bruce Lee films. the Fist of Fury, he plays the part. Well, actually, he's stunt double for the Japanese guy after he gets kicked, and he flies out of the dojo, and in Enter the Dragon, you will see him getting his neck broken. Also, if you guys know who Sammo Hung is, Sammo Hung is a heavy, badass kung fu stylist. Also, actually, he's Jackie Chan's. They call him Jackie Chan's big brother. They were the Lucky Stars. It was Yuen Biao, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and Yuen Wah, and several others. Sammo Hung also is in Enter the Dragon. Yuen Biao is in one of the students, and we also got Bobo Young in the movie, who also became a huge star also. Yeah. Yes, sir.
You mentioned Bruce Lee, the man, the myth.
Yes.
About him by Bruce Lee played.
Bruce Lee.
And I just read, I didn't know this, that I guess Bruce Lee died before Game of Death was completed.
Bruce Lee died actually, sadly, not only before Game of Death, but he actually never saw Enter the Dragon. The only things that he saw about Enter the Dragon was him going into the recording room and dubbing over. Unfortunately, he was not able to witness the fruits of his labor.
The reason I brought it up is because Bruce Lee, who was portraying, was doing the life of Bruce Lee.
Yes. Yes.
When Bruce Lee died in Game of Death, before Game of Death was completed, well, the producers of the movie wanted to complete the movie, didn't have Bruce Lee around anymore, offered the part to Bruce Lee.
Yes.
That he refused.
Yes.
Portrayed.
Yes, actually, they got to use three Bruce Lee lookalikes, which they didn't really look like him. Yuen Kim, who's a Korean actor, real good actor actually. He came out in Game of Death Part 2 called Tower of Death. Real good martial artist. They also used Yuen Biao and then this one guy whose name I don't know, but he was horrible. Game of Death, unfortunately, could have been Bruce's best picture. Unfortunately, they dropped the ball, and the way that they edited it and some of the stuff that they did to it is very sad, because supposedly there was over 120 minutes of footage that Bruce had already filmed. But unfortunately, God knows what happened with it, Yes, sir.
They did release the final footage of the completion of Game of Death when he did.
Well, they showed in The Warrior Within.
Right.
They showed a lot of the fights that happened in the actual pagoda. But missing is still parts where he fights the students out in the yard. Yeah. He's wearing jeans and he's got.
They show the philosophy behind the tower, what it.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why he's wearing the non-traditional sweatsuit, which I was gonna actually wear mine, but since I've gained so much weight, I was gonna look like a burnt tamale today. So I was like, nah, hell nah.
I wear mine on Halloween.
I was reading off some lines that little known facts about the movie, and that one of the extras that was challenged Bruce Lee to see, are you for real? Challenged him to a fight.
Yep.
Bruce Lee won the fight to get back to work.
Yeah, pretty much. There's also a lot of exaggerations too. A lot of people kind of exaggerate certain facts of Bruce Lee too. But that fight supposedly happened in front of Jim Kelly and several others, and Bruce kind of whooped them up. There was other challenges, but what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of those stunt guys, they love Bruce. They're pretty much like his bodyguard. So when you challenge Bruce, you have to go through all those dudes before getting to him too. So a lot of, like Yuen Wah, who the guy that does the flip in the beginning of the movie, Bruce supposedly does the flip over the Shaolin monks, but that's really his stunt double, Yuen Wah. That guy was a badass Wing Chun master too, and there wasn't getting to Bruce Lee before messing with Yen. Yeah. So, anyways, thank you so much, everyone, for giving me your time. I hope I didn't bore you guys. And thank you.